I'm 19 Keys, and this is High Level Conversation. The library.
But I always tell the young soldiers that, unfortunately, that whatever age you are, you probably have already met some spirit killers, some dream snatchers, and some aspiration assassins. And sometime it was a teacher.
Yeah.
Sometime it was somebody from your hood. Sometime it was your friend. Sometimes it's your own mother and father. But I want to give you something that if you allow this to be a rule, law, or axiom that governs your mind, you'll be able to activate the override mechanism in your brain and put in check any self-defeating command that's ever been told to you. And that is this. I learned this from my teacher. There's nothing more powerful than a made-up mind. So once you got your mind made up, because the blessing that you had is the blessing that those who they call it's an outlier mind. See, you didn't allow something that someone said you can't do make you sad and get defeated. You allowed it to make you mad and get you motivated. So I looked at Jay-Z when he was talking in one of his songs. He said that my teacher said I would either be dead or in a reefer head. Then he said, Miss Teacher, I wonder if you're near a speaker. Can you hear my sneakers? I'm balling out of control. Whatever, something like that. But point is, Pharrell said the same thing. Whenever Brother Malcolm was in 8th grade, teacher told him, after he asked, what do you want to be? He said he wanted to be a lawyer. He said, oh, Malcolm, your people wouldn't trust you enough. And you know, my people wouldn't hire you. Why not be a carpenter? The minister told him he wanted to be a doctor. Oh, Lewis, you play the violin beautifully. You know your people would never come to see you, and you know my people wouldn't come. Stick to that. Steve Harvey said when he was in the 6th grade, he wrote a paper, and look at, you remember the word you used, realistic?
Yes, sir.
He said that's what sends you to something that's mundane and mediocre. Watch this. Steve Harvey in the 6th grade said he wrote a paper in school on what he wanted to be in life. He said he wanted to be on television like Bill Cosby. Whenever he got to school, turned it in, the teacher called him to the front of the class. He thought his paper was so good, he was going to read it in front of the class. She gave him the paper and said to Steve Harvey in front of the whole class, Steve, what did you write your paper on? I want to be on television. She said, let me ask you a question. Do you know anyone on TV? No, ma'am. Do you have any family members on television? No, ma'am. She said, I want you to go home and tear that paper up and write me something, listen to this, more realistic. He went home to his mother, showed it to her. She said, this is what the teacher said. Mother said, well, yeah, that's what you need to do. Go write that paper. Steve Harvey still wasn't feeling good about it. Wait till his father came home. And when his father came home, she said, Dad, teacher told me to write something what I wanted to be. I said I want to be on TV. Stood in front of the class, told me to tear it up, write something more realistic. I came and told Mom, she said, I need to write the paper. What do I need to do? What should I do? He said, let me see that paper. He said, I don't see nothing wrong with this.
Yeah.
He said, I need you to go upstairs for a minute. I need to talk to your mother. I don't know what he said to his wife, but he didn't want the son to hear it. More than likely, he told her, don't you ever tell our children what we can't be. Anything he put in mind to. So Steve Harvey's father went up to his room and told him, he said, I tell you what, let's write a paper on being a police officer or something. You turn that in, but the paper you wrote, I want you to put it in the top drawer. And every day before you go to bed and every day before you leave your room, I want you to read it to yourself. Where is he at right now? He's on television.
Yeah, yes.
So the outlier allows the negative can't do to become motivation. But most people allow it to break their spirit.
Right.
Snatch their dream and assassinate their aspirations. And I'm saying to the viewing audience that you might be 40 years old. Go back in your mind and find that thing you said you really wanted to be when you were young. Because when we in the schools, Brother Keys, you go to the 3rd grade, what do you want to be? I want to be an engineer. I'll be a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
I want to be a doctor. You get it now. Your same students catch them at junior and high school. What do y'all want to be? This is the universal. No, nobody knows, but you did know. What happened? You got derailed. Your aspirations were assassinated. Your dreams were snatched. Somebody killed your spirit. So go back to that time when you was 4, 5, 6. What did you really want to be?
And we ask people what they want to be, but most people don't know who they are. Because if you know who you are, then it's easy to pinpoint, right? What do you want to do with who you are? Because that's going to be dependent, as you talked about, your gifts, skills, and your talents.
Right.
Because you say, wait a minute, you know, I'm tested. I'm a very great communicator. Well, that lets me know I most likely can succeed at being a speaker.
Right.
So maybe I should get in communications, right? Because you now know your function, where you can function at highly. Now you say, well, function denotes purpose, right? So it's like, I use the example of a remote control. We know that the remote control function, right, is to turn the TV off. So that's his purpose.
Right.
So when you find a gift, skill, and talent, then you find correlated purposes with those things.
Yeah.
But because we have a world where you don't help a person identify who they are, right, on a customized level, now everybody is graded off these same measurements, right? To where say, wait a minute, I might have spatial intelligence. I might have kinesthetic intelligence, right? I might be better physically, but you telling me I should be a scientist. Or somebody that, you know, wants to be, you know, in front of the camera, because I look at it like this, is that a lot of times we have dreams and desires that's connected to our weaknesses. Because we have viewed somebody that has produced their dreams and desires because it was connected to their strength. So this is why I say we have so many people who may want to pursue a career in entertainment because you see somebody who is gifted at that. And you want what comes along with that gift, but you don't have that gift. So now you're pursuing something in your weakness. So we have all these people in these fields that are mediocre, that won't produce anything. But if they got behind the camera, maybe if they decided to be a writer, maybe if they would have did something that was their actual gift and their talent, then they would have been able to produce their desires. But we also have this hierarchy of careers and dreams. This one looks better because, you know, like you said, we in a time of vanity. So, man, well, this doesn't allow me to be vain, right? This doesn't allow me to be this. So you're going to destroy the purpose that God made you for, right? Because you're now comparing what someone else's gifts brings them. So this is something I try to get people to understand. It's like, think about, you know, the customization of self, who you are, right? There's so many different ways to study your personality types, your design types, the way you speak, your psychology type. You even talked about, before we spoke on camera, on, you know, you can match like the metronome rhythm of a person speaking to be like, you know, one person made Malcolm X jazz and you compared yourself to hip hop. What this does is now you know how to formulate, right? You know, around the rhythm of who you are. But other than that, you're just trying to figure it out. And this is what a coach does, right? I heard the Minister Louis Farrakhan say, and hopefully I'm not paraphrasing, but I think he said that your father is someone who elevates you. So sometimes it may not be your biological father, right? And we have a world that is underfathered, so there's a lot of people who are not elevated because they don't know how to seek a source for elevation. And so he was like, I am many people's father because I help give them that elevation. If you're going to jump into crown society, you're saying that I represent power, I represent knowledge of self. Stepping in the name of drip, get ready with me. Stepping in the name of drip, get ready.
I wear the crown to just symbolize, like, I know who I am, I know why I'm here, I know my purpose.
It's abundance, it's royalty, it's prosperity, it's energy.
Put in. Yeah. I gotta walk with my head held high because you gotta see this and you gotta see this.
I believe that if anybody wants to be able to protect their mind and be able to think freely, you gotta get Crown Society today, man.
Neo after the blue pill, the color palette's all black. James Bond mixed with Malcolm X in my Che Guevara era.
I'm 19 Keys, and this is High Level Conversation. The library.